So we have some all new amazing aerial images that give us a great construction look at the Marvel themed Avengers Campus that's currently being built at Disney California Adventure and is set to open next year. So let's dive into all of that up next. This video is sponsored by Mickey Travels, a platinum level authorized Disney vacation planner which can take the hassle out of all of your vacation planning. So visit the link in the description box to get your free quote today. Hi there Waltoneers, I'm Jack and this is of course DSNY Newscast, and very quickly for today I just want to say that YouTube are making some changes to their algorithm once again, and these changes are mainly because of the whole FTC copper thing that you might have seen in the news at the moment, and they're affecting the recommendations, push notifications and the overall visibility of certain videos, and I have actually seen it sort of affect this channel recently. And so it would be a massive help if you go ahead and follow DSNY Newscast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, download the DSNY Newscast app for the iPhone. If you've already got it, make sure the push notifications are turned on, and then that way I can make sure that you know when the latest DSNY Newscast has come out and you'll know the latest breaking Disney news. And with all that out of the way, let's get straight into it. As when looking back on 2019, undoubtedly it will be seen as the year of Star Wars within the Disney parks, as with the respective openings of Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and Walt Disney World being only a mere 3 months apart. It meant that the final developments, the grand ceremonies, and then the initial reaction and response to the new lands would inevitably overshadow any other new project. That was, of course, until, for a brief moment at the end of August, D23 took place and Disney Park fans were given details of the 2 big projects on the horizon for each coast, with one being Epcot's multi-year transformation, and the other one was Disney's first ever Marvel themed land coming to Disney California Adventure. And it's the latter that we're going to focus in on for today, as surprisingly we'll be able to experience this land much sooner than what we've come to expect from Disney in recent times, as unlike the 4 years of waiting that preceded Galaxy's Edge, the first phase of the Avengers Campus will be opening sometime in 2020. Now at this time we don't have a solid date or even a month locked in place for when this could reasonably open, but it looks like it's going to be toward the end of 2020, with a possibility of it being late summer, early fall at the very earliest. And the reason for that can be better explained in these incredible aerial images thanks to BioReconstruct on Twitter, who recently did a 3,000 foot flyover of Disneyland Resort and managed to get some amazing aerial shots, which I'll go ahead and link to down in the description box below. But first of all, as you can see here, much of the overall layout and the initial formation of the structures within this new land are now sort of in place, with this being the Spider-Man attraction that's going to be repurposing and reimagining much of the Tough to Be a Bug theatre. Then you've got the small building across the way which will be the Web Supply Store. Then on the other side of the land, flanking the entrance there, will be the PIM Technologies Test Kitchen restaurant, along with Avengers HQ opposite. And then adjacent to that will be the Sanctum of the Mystic Arts. But now let's begin with the main entrance into this land, as we can see that work has only just begun on the ground foundations for this circular entrance plaza that will mark the transition point between the performance corridor just off Cathay Circle into the Avengers Campus. And it will be interesting to see if any greater efforts are made to adapt the immediate surroundings, as the blue sky cellar entrance and the rockwork nearby will be a stark contrast to the modern design aesthetic which will be opposite within the new campus. But then again, that might also be intentional, so that guests stumble upon this sudden pop of technological activity in more of an overwhelming wow moment, instead of a more subtle transition at the Guardians of the Galaxy mission breakout entrance into the land. But coming back on over to this side of the land, this area here won't be the entrance to the Spider-Man attraction, but instead you'll have to walk down and around this narrow area that will feel a little bit like an alleyway, and then turn to your left to find the attraction entrance to the yet-to-be-named Spider-Man ride that will be opening as part of Phase 1 next year. However, the proximity of Cars Land and Mater's in particular does pose a difficult dilemma, as it's going to be harder to disguise the Spider-Man building on the sightline from Mater's, or to keep the integrity of each land's sound design intact, considering that Mater's backs right up against the alleyway of the new campus. However, once you move down and beyond this transition point, as from this central hub, you'll be able to see everything that this Marvel land will offer in one 360-degree spin. such as the location of a web supplies store, which is rumoured to have some sort of custom build experience similar to that of a Droid Depot in Galaxy's Edge. Then the construction that is taking place right next to that will be the Doctor Strange Californian Sanctum, which you can see is only just beginning to be outlined within the foundations for some smaller indoor structures as part of that Mystic Arts experience, which I've likened in the past to be a sort of Jedi Training Academy style interaction, but for Marvel. Then this standalone building over here is actually the previous tissue box restrooms from the now demolished A Bug's Land that will be rethemed and remain as the restrooms for the campus. And then to the side of that you can see the progress that's being made on the construction of the quick service restaurant that's going to be themed to Ant-Man, which will have oversized food offerings. But the one area that is probably the most intriguing in all of this development is the construction of the Avengers HQ, as this is being designed to serve a dual purpose, with the first being a dynamic stage platform that can carry out small stunt show performances by the Avengers characters throughout the day, and then the second is a small meet and greet as well. But importantly, all of this is only a stopgap measure, as this will be a facade that needs to be just as iconic and act as a sort of teaser similar to that of what the Haunted Mansion did back in the 1960s, as this will mark phase 2 of the Avengers Campus, as you can see that space has already been designated for the entrance to the e-ticket Avengers attraction that is going to be fully constructed in this backstage area over the next couple of years, and then will be seamlessly unveiled as if it's always been there. So in conclusion, there is still a lot of work left to be completed, but considering that this is only a 4-acre land compared to that of the 14 acres for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, it's fairly realistic that Imagineering should be able to meet that 2020 opening deadline, but most likely it will be in fall of 2020 instead. But that's not the only construction work currently going on at the Disneyland Resort, as thanks to Disney Parks blog we have this concept art for what will be the new Tomorrowland entrance changes, which may seem subtle, but this is actually quite significant, as it marks the beginning of a grander revision and renovation which we'll surely be learning an awful lot more about within 2020. And then over at the back of Toontown we can see that the removal of the backstage buildings used for the parade preparations is now complete, with land clearing and site grading now beginning for the new Mickey & Minnie's Runaway Railway attraction that will be opening in 2022. But this construction won't be all too exciting, as the nature of the attraction means that it will be in a pretty basic box-like structure that will then connect to a new entrance facade within Toontown called the Al Capitoon Theatre. But whilst we're speaking of Mickey & Minnie's Runaway Railway, we are now less than 6 months away from this innovative attraction opening Walt Disney World in spring of 2020. And up until this point we haven't really received any inside looks at the technology running within the attraction building. But this week we have received an official poster which plays up the idea that we'll be under the sea within the ride narrative. And this is quite puzzling, as I haven't heard anything with regards to this within the official storyline that I received a while ago. So maybe this has been a last minute addition to the attraction, or perhaps the poster is just simply illustrating how we're going to be diving into the cartoon world of the new Mickey Mouse animated shorts. But either way, we should be getting an official opening date early on in the new year, along with our first official look at the innovative 2.5D projection technology in action. But now, it's over to you, Walt, and as I would like to know, with the Avengers Campus only being around 4 acres in size, if you could expand the Avengers Campus or bring a new Marvel offering to Disney California Adventure, maybe within the Hollywood backlot area, then what would you theme it to, and also what type of rides, experiences and shows would you offer within that area, and also the reason why. And of course, don't forget to put the timestamp for where the hidden Mickey appeared somewhere within this video, along with your suggestion or your comment, to be in the chance to win one of these official DSNY Newscast enamel pins. And congratulations to this Walt Disney here for winning this suggestion from a previous video, where we're talking all about the Frozen Land construction that's currently taking place in Hong Kong Disneyland. And so that's it for today, so be sure to go ahead and subscribe down below if you're new to this channel, hit that notification icon so therefore if YouTube does its job properly, you make sure you receive a push notification when these videos come out. But most importantly, be sure to go ahead and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and download the DSNY Newscast app. And if you've enjoyed today's video, be sure to give this video a massive thumbs up, as it really does help this channel out. And I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.